like I said, I have to be in the mood for it. And I was, but unfortunately I really like the place that we're in, but the neighbor downstairs can be noisy, and the soundproofing between the floors is not the greatest. So I didn't want you guys to be bugged by the noise, so I didn't make a video. I think she has stepped out, so I'm kind of taking this chance to make a video here. I witness a collision, and especially if it's a severe one, it can be difficult not to have a little bit of panic, but it's important to use some common sense and pull over far off the road as far as you can. Obviously get somebody to dial 911 or whatever the emergency number is in your area. And sorry, there's just somebody revving their engines and it's annoying me. Anyways, so once you pull your vehicle off, you have to remember you can't help anybody if you're not safe as well. So keep an eye out for traffic, especially if a collision's just happened. There could be other vehicles coming that didn't witness it, aren't paying attention, whatever it is, and you don't want to be hit. So use some common sense in that way. Only after you've called first responders, given a description of where you are, then that's the best time to go and perhaps even while you're still on the phone, and give an update to the operator, the best to your ability, on how many patients, what their status is, things of that nature. And after the first responders get there, they may either get you to step back, or they may still require your help with something. I know for us, we've, at least at the beginning of a collision, we've gotten bystanders to help us carry out patients or whatever else. Another important thing is to, again, to the best of your ability, remember what happened, who was driving, because especially in a criminal case such as impaired driving, you may be called as a witness to court if it ever goes to court, and you may be a pretty key person, and any discrepancy between you and what other witnesses say could mean that the case gets tossed. So it's pretty important that you remember what happened to the best of your ability. And sometimes it's a good thing as soon as, let's say, emergency services got there and take over. It can be good to, if you have a pen and paper, jot down what happened right away. Because eventually,